time again in these high school rom-coms, we see a particular archetype being featured. Let's set the scene. She has glasses on her face, doesn't dress the absolute best, but still looks really cute. Still absolutely slaying the game, even though she tells herself she's not, and the world has told her she is not. She's most likely a brunette, and she's insecure with herself and her place in this absolutely messy world called high school. Yeah, here comes this man who sees her for who she is, sees her for the beautiful person that's on the inside, but the outside also helps, and swoops her away, saying, no, I'm not gonna go by the status quo. I'm gonna give up my dad's dream to become a football star and join you in the Sound of Music on Broadway. Yes, take me now. Now, does this sound familiar? Does she sound familiar? Did you say yes? Can you name me what movie and girl I just described? You can't, can you? You know why? Because there's too dang many of them. Be original. Since when did the awkward, shy girl trope become the thing? Become the thing that we aspire for? Did we grow up thinking that this was the way we had to be? This was the right way that we had to be? Because no, my dear children, there is no right way that you have to be. It's okay if you started off in high school being a popular girl. It's fine. What is not fine is if you're mean and a bully and a bitch. For whatever reason, these high school movies raised us to believe, yes, if I am the shy, awkward girl, I am worth something. If I am the shy, awkward girl, this is my story. I am the main character. I will get the man in the end. You just wait, and my day is gonna shine. My day is gonna come, honey. Honey, you just wait. You're gonna kiss this. You're gonna kiss this. The reason I'm talking about this is because I know this trope is not dead yet. It is not necessarily wrong either, because there are the girls who are like that out there, and especially in high school, yes, I do agree that this could be a common thing. I will admit, I myself was that girl in high school. But you know what? Did I get my man? Did I get any attention put on me? Did I end up with the quarterback? No. The way these movies are so unrealistic. I beg the question as to why this was the norm. Why did we grow up on this? Why did these movies make us believe that being that archetype, being in this bubble, was the right way to be? Was the way to be if you wanted to get yourself a man? If you wanted to be the main character, you're misunderstood. You're not the popular one, but you are the one. You are that girl. And in reality, no. How many times does this happen? In reality, if you want to drop a comment and say that this did happen to you, you are the story, please share with the class. But as far as I know, as far as my experience, as far as I've talked with other people and their experiences, that archetype does not typically get the quarterback in the end.
I'm in love with you, Archie.
For whatever reason, these rom-coms, and particularly the more kid-friendly ones, like Princess Diaries, High School Musical, Cinderella Story, all of the ones that were more focused towards us while we were growing up, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think I probably have a younger audience, so maybe those ones don't apply to you, but most recently, Sierra Burgess is a loser, literally with the title, is a loser. The Kissing Booth. I hope you're not a young person watching the After series, but I imagine you're probably a young person watching the After series. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, even though I love that movie. These more recent titles are also doing that archetype. Maybe not brunette in every case, but also doing that archetype still. And it's still happening time and time again for these main stories, these popular stories that we're feeding into our younger audiences. And it makes me wonder why. What are you trying to tell your younger audiences by watching these movies? Are you truly trying to tell them that you have to fit into this bubble in order to be worth something, in order to get the attention of a man. Because if that's true, then we're all screwed, essentially. Now, in order to get the full picture of this, let's take a look back at what the archetype actually is that I'm talking about. Now, I don't want to focus solely on the fact that all of these women are gorgeous. Definitely gorgeous in their own right and respect. And part of the reason why this trope is so tired is because of the fact they cast these really pretty girls and just expect us to relate to them being shy and awkward when they're naturally gorgeous.
Guys, she's got glasses and a ponytail.
And sure, it is interesting seeing that reflected in their personality, that they don't feel gorgeous. It could be just an insecurity issue where, you know, you're gorgeous, but you don't have the mindset that you are, the confidence that you are, which does happen to people. But obviously, it really takes you out of these movies when you see Hilary Duff being casted as a awkward, shy girl who doesn't know how to get the attention of Chad Michael Murray. Like,
What?
he literally puts on a hat and then he doesn't know who she is. doesn't even remember that that's the girl he talked to during Halloween. Like, what? A lot of people have talked about that in particular before. I think there's no secret there that a lot of us, yes, acknowledge that these shy, awkward girls are played by naturally gorgeous women. What I really wanted to focus more on is the personality aspect and that archetype and how that feeds into what could be potentially a harmful narrative for the future. The personality. It's usually this loner girl who is the good girl, who reads, especially if it's a movie adapted from a book. They're always readers. They're always readers. Who gets good grades. And for whatever the frig reason, these girls are always tripping. Like, literally tripping. She's also shy, awkward, insecure with herself, not popular, just going about her day, potentially archetyped as the loser. I do beg the question as to why that archetype is so often used over and over again when, yes, people can have commonality in that and relate to it. Again, I myself growing up was relating to it. I felt seen. I felt heard. I was like, yes. Yes, you don't have to be popular to get a man. Yes. Yeah. But there often isn't really much else to the protagonist other than those qualities and features. There's nothing much else to her other than that. Maybe there might be a sliver of a thing. Like in Cinderella's case, she's hardworking. That's a thing. But then that also kind of goes with her studious side, that she's a good student. Lainey, and she's all that. She's an artist. She loves art. So there's also that quality to her. Bella Swan has her glitter fetish. But you notice a trend here. You see what I'm saying? There's usually not much else. There's maybe one other quality or hobby to them that they have, and that's it. It's still the same type over and over again. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And the reason why I just wish that they would flesh out their characters more, and not necessarily am saying that this is, again, a bad archetype or that you're a bad person if you are this archetype, because obviously you're not. I would want to see more variety. And yes, you only have so much runtime in these films, sure. There's only so much you can put in your hour-and-a-half movie instead of a TV show. But I feel like there should be more personalities represented in these films if you're going to try and represent millions of girls, especially in your teenage years, and other personality types that are okay, that are also okay, that is also great to see. One personality type that seems to be demonized over and over again is the girly girl, and usually they attribute her to the mean girl, the mean cheerleader who is a bully and just has a stank face on her face and blonde.
You're too f***ing
But you don't have to necessarily be a mean girl cheerleader to have a different personality from the shy, awkward. There are different types of people and personalities. I actually rarely see Manic Pixie Dream Girl as a main character for a high school rom-com. Manic Pixie Dream Girl No. Emo goth girl? Hello? Where's that story, please? Where's my alternative rock emo goth girly, please? Can they not get some love and representation? Hello. Hello.
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again.
Maybe yes, the popular cheerleader who has more to her than that. I do know recently they did do the QB quarterback, the quarterback in me. I know they just recently did that, which I do appreciate that as much as you could say what you want about that movie. Maybe it's not the best movie, but it's a start. It's a start at least. There are still so many different types of girls in high school in particular that eventually grow up being good people too. How much more interesting would it be if you do a rom-com where it's the popular cheerleader who's mean and then she turns out being nice from falling in love through her love journey? I would watch that. And no, I do not count the remake of She's All. I do not count He's All That. I do not count that. Point is that you don't see a wide range of representation of archetypes in these films. It's usually the same thing over and over again, where it's the shy girl. And so when you do see that as a child being put to screen over and over again, it does make you think, okay, if I'm gonna be that girl, then I'll probably get the quarterback falling in love with me. I just gotta wait my time. I just gotta wait my time, and he'll come. He'll come around. Yeah? Yeah? Where is he? Where is he at? Focusing more on high school.
It doesn't happen.
And then maybe you still have your shy, awkward tendencies outside of high school, but you'll end up getting someone who matches you great. Maybe that person wasn't the quarterback in high school, but still ends up being the love of your life, which is great. These movies are telling you, just shut up, be quiet, and you'll get yourself a man. You know what story I do have? You know what I do? I have two couples, long-standing couples that I know in my life that are parents of people that I know, that they've told me that their parents were the cheerleader and quarterback in the high school and prom king, prom queen of the high school. And they're still together. Either way, because this is a formula that keeps happening, I do believe that at a certain point, it can become actually a little harmful. I'm not trying to ruin the fun, okay? I promise I'm not trying to ruin the fun. Yes, I love these movies. I still rewatch Princess Diaries. I still rewatch Cinderella Story. I rewatch all of these, and I love them dearly. All I'm saying is I do hope for the future that they do provide more of a variety of main girls and main guys. Heck, and main, I'm focusing on the girls, but guys too. Specifically with the girlies here, because me, as the young girl growing up, was thinking that this was going to happen to me. Now, did it happen? Obviously not. But you know what did happen? Because I was that shy, awkward girl in high school, eventually, my personal story, I grew up being insecure with myself, and then eventually, post-high school in university, I did fortunately start gaining more confidence in myself, started being more outspoken, started being more loud. I can honestly say from my own experience, it wasn't until that I started becoming more outspoken, more outgoing, and talking to people, not being afraid of myself, and just being who I am.
Be my stupid loud self.
Actually, I started to gain more interest from people. And then I thought to myself, why did I seclude myself in high school this entire time? All I needed to do was just be myself and not be afraid. Not be afraid to talk to people and just get out there. And then, yeah, finally things started happening for me. I've been with my guy for 6 years now, so it's great. But the girl who I was in high school, I truly believe would not have gotten it had it not been for me bursting out of my shell. The point I'm trying to make here is that, again, if you are a shy, awkward person, love you. There's nothing wrong with it, obviously. There are shy, awkward people out there, and you're amazing in your own right. You don't need to change. You don't need to do that. So I'm not saying that either. But also, I would hope that you wouldn't feel the influence from movies like this, that you have to be this way, is my point that I'm trying to make, is that if you are naturally that way, great. Just be you. Be you, baby. Be your shining self. But if these movies are what paved you into thinking, okay, being this way is the right way, being this way is the way that all of these movies are depicting are the good way to be. You're the good girl, so therefore you're gonna get all the good things coming to you, having not really any flaws, and then you'll get a guy, and then instantly you're gonna get someone coming your way. You are main character, you are deserving of all of that just because you're the good, shy, awkward person. I would hope that you wouldn't believe that and that you should be this way because of these films. It is okay if you're different from that, if you're even more quirky and weird from what they depict in the movies, if you're even more loud and obnoxious. I've been called loud and obnoxious. If you're a lot of energy, if you maybe do have a salty side to you, if you have a sassy side to you, like that is all completely valid and okay. You don't have to fit into this one mold to be worth something, to get the guy, to get the flowers, to get the happily ever after. You don't need to just be that one archetype. Be who you are. Obviously be a good person. You are 100% worth the happily ever after and deserve the happily ever after if you aren't that archetype. If you are that archetype and if you're not, you deserve everything in the world. Also to note is that a lot of times in these movies, the girl will start off shy and awkward and insecure with herself. And then it's not until this man comes in the picture that then she starts breaking out of her shell, that then he starts making her feel confident in herself. And I also, as much as that can seem really cute, of course, and I do appreciate people who do compliment each other and bring the best out of each other, it also paints not the best narrative either, in the sense that you obviously do not need another person to tell you that you are worth something, to give you the confidence that you want, and to make yourself feel worthy. You yourself should be the person to do that for yourself. Learn to love yourself and be comfortable in yourself, comfortable in your own skin, to then find your hopeful life partner. I wouldn't also want other people to be influenced by in these movies is to think, oh yeah, I'm shy and awkward, but then if a guy comes and validates me, well, then I'm going to feel confident and happy in myself. All I need is the one guy, and then I'm going to break out of my shell, and that's all I need. No, you do not need that. The work starts with you, baby. The work starts with yourself. And so that's the other thing that I also wanted to mention too with these movies. You don't need the one dude. You don't need that guy to break you out of your shell. You yourself can do that for yourself, because I myself, like I said with my story earlier, I had to do that for myself. There wasn't a guy in the picture to make me feel confident in myself. It was just me and the work that I was doing for myself. Hopefully in these films, as well, as complex of an idea as that might sound, they can start integrating that more into the films as well, where it's the shy, awkward girl, but maybe she comes out of her shell herself and starts learning to love herself and be more confident in herself first, and then can learn to love someone, and someone learns to love her as well. I truly hope in the future rom-coms, especially the ones that are targeted towards kids that our future children are going to grow up on, I hope they start diversifying these romances more and start putting in different archetypes. Obviously, there's still a ways to go. I still have seen, again, the more recent ones. I mean, maybe it's not as recent because it's been some time. I think it was since COVID, the Sierra Berg. I still don't know how to say that. Kissing Booth, To All the Boys, which again, I love that movie. All of those still have the main girl essentially being that archetype. Still seeing it as the main girl in these main popular mainstream stories, and I'm just tired, and I would like some diversity. Doesn't mean that these movies can't exist with that particular archetype. Those are all fine and dandy, but just provide more. That's all I'm asking. Just provide some more. Different types of girlies out there, and it's fine, and we can still get the love. We can still get the happily ever after, being a different type of archetype other than the shy girl, the ooh-woo girl. Ooh-woo girl. We don't all have to be ooh-woo. Maybe we want to be grr. Maybe we want to be grr. Grr. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.